Spicy lady, breathe in slowly and exhale. This is your sacred space. No noise from the world, only the sound of your own power rising. You are not here to be light. You are here to become undeniable. Let every word you hear penetrate your subconscious. Speak them out loud. Claim them. Embody them. You spicy lady Sigma. I am calm in chaos and lethal in clarity. My silence is not emptiness, it is tragedy. I move with quiet power and unshakable confidence. I do not chase attention. I do not seek validation. I attract what respects my frequency. I am highly selective with my energy. I no longer tolerate what my former self accepted. My boundaries are final. I do not negotiate my peace. I enforce it. I release people, situations, any words that disrespect my value, without guilt, without explanation, and without looking back. And Sinoshanti.
Welcome the Spicy Lady. Some people grow best in silence, not in the spotlight. In today's world, it feels like everything is meant to be shared. From small wins to private struggles, many people post their lives online as if every moment needs an audience. But there is a different kind of woman who moves through life with a different understanding. A Spicy Lady Sigma does not avoid people, but she is intentional about what she lets the world see. To her, privacy is not about hiding. It is about clarity. It is about keeping her thoughts, emotions, and decisions free from unnecessary noise. She has learned that when too many people know your business, too many voices start shaping your direction. Some advise you with care, some judge you quietly, and some compare your life to theirs without saying it out loud. She has also noticed something simple but powerful. The more visible your life becomes, the more people feel involved in it. Even when they are not, they start forming opinions, assumptions, and expectations based on incomplete information. Over time, this can make a person feel watched instead of understood. That is why she chooses a quieter approach. She prefers to observe more than she reveals, not because she is distant, but because she values peace of mind. Her decisions are not shaped by applause or criticism, but by what feels right to her. There is something deeper happening here. Privacy gives her space to think clearly, grow at her own pace, and understand people. Without external influence, IT allows her to build her life without constantly explaining IT. In this video, we will explore the psychology behind why Spicy Lady Sigma prefers privacy and what it reveals about strength, awareness, and emotional intelligence. Stay until the end because the final insight may completely change how you see silence and personal space. Let's dive deeper, Spicy Lady. Number 1, privacy protects reality from other people's narratives. Point 1 of the deepest reasons Spicy Lady Sigma values privacy is because she understands a truth most people discover the hard way. The more people know about your life, the more they feel entitled to create stories about it. Human beings naturally fill in gaps with assumptions. They see one small piece of your life and convince themselves they understand the whole picture. A Spicy Lady Sigma recognizes this pattern early. She has seen how quickly facts become opinions, and how opinions eventually become rumors. Imagine a woman who decides to leave a stable job and start something of her own. Before long, people begin creating explanations. Some say she failed. Others say she is confused. A few assume she has a secret source of money. Very few stop to ask what is actually happening. Everyone is looking at the same situation, yet everyone creates a different story. This is exactly why privacy matters to her. She knows that once people have access to too many details, they often stop seeing reality and start seeing their own version of Their fears, biases, insecurities, and personal experiences begin shaping how they interpret her choices. What fascinates a spicy Lady Sigma is that people can completely misunderstand someone they have known for years. That a person can be called arrogant simply because they enjoy solitude. They can be called cold simply because they have healthy boundaries. They can be called secretive simply because they do not announce every detail of their lives, instead of spending endless energy correcting misunderstandings. She chooses a different path. She protects her peace by limiting unnecessary access. This does not mean she lives behind walls. That it means she is intentional about what she shares and who she shares it with. She understands that not every thought needs an audience. Not every goal needs an announcement. Not every struggle needs public discussion. The wisdom behind this mindset is simple but powerful. When fewer people are involved in your personal story, fewer people get the chance to rewrite it. A spicy Lady Sigma prefers privacy because she wants her life to be lived, not interpreted. She would rather spend her time building her reality than constantly defending it from narratives created by people who only know fragments of the truth. Number 2, she understands that exposure changes human behavior. Point 1 reason spicy Lady Sigma guards her privacy so carefully is because she understands something many people overlook. Information changes people the moment people learn certain things about you. Their behavior often changes, not because you change, but because their perception of you changed. Think about it. Imagine 2 people are treated exactly the same at work. Then one day, everyone discovers that one of them earns significantly more money. Suddenly, conversations feel different. Some people become friendlier, others become distant, a few become quietly resentful. The person is still exactly the same, but the information has altered how people respond to them. Is spicy. Lady Sigma notices these shifts. She understands that when people know your plans, they react to the plan. When they know your income, they react to the money. When they know your struggles, they react to your vulnerability. When they know your successes, they react to your achievements. The problem is that these reactions can sometimes hide people's true character. For example, if she shares an exciting goal too early, some may support you while others secretly hope you fail. If she reveals a weakness, some may care while others quietly store that information for judgment. If she shares a victory, some celebrate while others suddenly begin comparing lives. This is why privacy becomes valuable. It allows her to observe people before giving them information that might influence their behavior. She gets to see who they really are when there is nothing to gain, nothing to envy, and nothing to judge. In many ways, privacy acts like a filter, without personal details clouding the situation. People's natural attitudes become easier to spot. Genuine people remain genuine. Kind people remain kind. Respectful people remain respectful. A spicy Lady Sigma has learned that the less information she puts on the table, the clearer people become. This is not about testing people or playing games. It is about understanding human nature. She knows that information can create masks, expectations, and hidden agendas. By keeping parts of her life private, she gives herself something valuable, the chance to see people as they truly are, instead of seeing how they behave when reacting to the details of their life. Number 3, privacy preserves her psychological freedom. Point 1 of the most overlooked reasons spicy Lady Sigma values privacy is that privacy protects something incredibly precious, psychological freedom. Many people think freedom is about having more choices, more money, or fewer responsibilities. But a spicy Lady Sigma understands that true freedom begins in the mind. It is the ability to make decisions based on what feels right for you, not based on what other people expect from you. The problem is that the more people know about your life, the more opinions they feel entitled to give. At first, it seems harmless. You tell people about a new career path, suddenly everyone has advice. You mention a relationship, now everyone has predictions. You talk about a personal goal. People start questioning your decisions. The strange thing is that many of these people genuinely mean well. But even good intentions can become mental noise. Imagine someone who announces they want to start a business. Some encourage, some warn, some say you're making a mistake. Months later, if you change direction, you are no longer deciding for yourself. You are also dealing with everyone's expectations. A spicy Lady Sigma avoids this trap. She understands that life is not a straight line. Humans grow, priorities change, new opportunities appear. Sometimes the smartest decision is to completely change course. Privacy gives her room to do that without feeling like she owes the world an explanation she does not want. To spend months defending a choice she has already outgrown. She does not want to carry the weight of other people's expectations while trying to figure out her own path. There is wisdom in keeping certain things to yourself while they are still developing. A seed grows underground before anyone sees the tree. I in the same way. Some dreams need silence before they need attention. A spicy Lady Sigma protects her privacy because she protects her freedom. She wants the ability to rethink, adjust, evolve, and reinvent herself without being trapped by opinions from people who are not living her life. That freedom is rare, and she refuses to give it away easily. Number 4, she has learned that information is a form of power. One of the biggest lessons a spicy Lady Sigma learns in life is that information is never just information. It is power. This may sound uncomfortable, but it is one of the most important truths about human nature. The details people know about you can influence how they treat you, how they judge you, sometimes even how they try to control you. That is why a spicy Lady Sigma is careful about what she reveals. Not because she is afraid, not because she has something to hide, but because she understands that once information leaves her mouth, she no longer controls where it goes or how it will be used. Most people have experienced this. You tell a personal struggle and it spreads. You share a dream and someone mocks it. You reveal a weakness and it gets thrown back at you. Experiences like these teach a powerful lesson. Not everyone who asks questions deserves answers. A spicy Lady Sigma understands that some people gather information because they care. Others gather information because they are curious. A few gather information because knowledge gives them leverage. That is why she pays attention to actions more than words. She knows trust should be built over time. Anyone can seem kind. Anyone can seem supportive. Character reveals itself through consistency. Imagine handing a stranger the keys to your house. Most people would never do that. Yet many people hand over personal details, fears, plans, and struggles after only a few conversations. A spicy Lady Sigma sees little difference between the two. She views personal information as something valuable to be shared wisely, not casually. What makes her different is that she does not become bitter. She simply becomes observant. She knows humans are capable of great kindness, but also jealousy, manipulation, and betrayal. So she chooses privacy, not as a shield, but as wisdom, because information is power and powerful things should never be handed out carelessly. Number 5, she doesn't want her identity trapped in old versions of herself. One of the most fascinating reasons spicy Lady Sigma values privacy is that she refuses to let her past become a prison. Most people do not realize how often this happens. The world has a habit of placing labels on people and expecting them to stay exactly the same forever. If you were shy years ago, some will always see you as shy. If you made mistakes, some will only remember the mistakes. If you once lacked confidence, some will view you that way forever. A spicy Lady Sigma understands this pattern very well. She has learned that many people are more comfortable with the version of you they already know than the person you are becoming. Growth can make people uncomfortable because it forces them to update their perception. Think about someone who was quiet for years, then becomes confident and outspoken. Instead of celebrating, some immediately say you've changed. What they often mean is, you are no longer the person I was used to. This is one reason privacy becomes so valuable. Privacy gives a spicy Lady Sigma room to evolve without constant commentary from people attached to an outdated version of her. She does not need to announce every lesson, every goal, every change. She allows growth to happen naturally. Many people fight two battles, trying to grow and trying to convince others they have grown. A spicy Lady Sigma chooses a different path. She focuses on the growth itself. She understands life is a process of becoming. The person she is today may be very different from who she will be in 5 years. She wants the freedom to change her mind, develop new interests, gain new wisdom, and outgrow old habits without carrying the weight of others' expectations. The strongest trees do not ask permission before they grow. A spicy Lady Sigma values privacy because it gives her something priceless, the space to keep evolving. She refuses to let old opinions define her future, and she understands that becoming your best self is much easier when you are not constantly being compared to who you used to be. Number 6, she knows vulnerability and oversharing are not the same thing. One of the biggest misconceptions today is the belief that being emotionally open means telling everyone everything. A spicy Lady Sigma understands these are two completely different things. Many people confuse vulnerability with exposure. They think the more personal details they reveal, the more authentic they are. But a spicy Lady Sigma has learned that true vulnerability is not about how much you share. It is about who you choose to share it with. There is a huge difference between opening your heart and opening your diary. One creates connection. The other simply creates access. A spicy Lady Sigma understands emotional honesty is important. She is not afraid to admit when she is struggling, disappointed, heartbroken, or uncertain. What makes her different is that she does not broadcast those moments to everyone. She knows trust should come before disclosure. Think of it like a priceless family heirloom. You would not hand it to every stranger, not because you are selfish, but because valuable things deserve protection. She views her deepest thoughts, fears, dreams, and wounds the same way. Over time, she has noticed not everyone who listens genuinely cares. Some listen to understand. Some listen to compare. Some listen to judge. A few listen just to have access. That is why she is careful that if she is going through difficulty, she may confide in one trusted friend, not 20 acquaintances. The goal is not secrecy. The goal is meaningful connection. Real vulnerability is not measured by how many people know your story. It is measured by the courage to share with someone who earned your trust. A spicy Lady Sigma avoids the mistake of sharing with the wrong audience. She understands a powerful truth. Not every ear deserves access to your heart. That is why she values privacy. She knows vulnerability is sacred. It flourishes in trust, grows through respect, and deepens through genuine connection. It was never meant to be a public performance. Number 7, she realizes most regrets come from saying too much. One lesson many people learn the hard way is that words cannot be taken back once they leave your mouth. A spicy Lady Sigma understands this deeply, which is why she is careful about who gets access to her personal life. Over time, she has noticed a pattern. Very few people look back and wish they had shared more. But countless people wish they had kept certain things to themselves. Someone shares a private struggle and it spreads. Someone reveals a dream and it gets criticized. Something private becomes public and the weight of others' opinions kills the joy. A spicy Lady Sigma pays attention to these experiences. She understands not everyone deserves immediate access to her thoughts, plans, fears, and battles. Access should be earned, not automatically granted. One of the most interesting things about human nature. People often feel close to someone simply because they know a lot about them. But knowing details is not the same as caring. This is why she does not rush to tell people everything. Some questions do not need detailed answers. Some conversations do not need complete transparency. Some parts of life are better protected until trust proves itself. If she is working on a major goal, she may keep it private until progress is made. If she is dealing with a challenge, she may share only with those who show wisdom and care. This approach is not about being closed off. It is about being discerning. A spicy Lady Sigma has learned that every piece of personal information is like handing someone a key. Some will guard it with respect. Others will misuse it. That is why she chooses her words carefully. Silence rarely creates regret, but careless disclosure often does. And in a world where many people speak first and think later, her ability to protect what is personal becomes one of her greatest strengths. Number 8, privacy helps her separate self-worth from public opinion. One of the most powerful reasons spicy Lady Sigma values privacy is that it helps her build something many people spend their whole lives searching for. A sense of self that is not controlled by other people's opinions. In today's world, it is easy to measure your value through others' eyes. Likes, comments, praise, criticism, endless comparisons. Many unconsciously tie their confidence to how much attention or approval they receive. A spicy Lady Sigma sees the danger in this. She understands that the moment your self-worth depends on public opinion, your emotional stability is no longer fully yours. Public opinion changes quickly. One day you're admired. The next you're criticized. One group praises you. Another questions you. If your confidence rises and falls with every reaction, life becomes an emotional roller coaster. A spicy Lady Sigma chooses a different path. She spends more time understanding herself than advertising herself. She asks, what do I truly value? What kind of person am I becoming? Am I living by my own principles? These matter more than popularity. Privacy plays an important role. When fewer people constantly observe her life, she has more space to hear her own thoughts. She is less distracted by applause and less shaken by criticism. She can evaluate herself honestly without turning every decision into a public debate. This creates a rare kind of confidence. Not the confidence that comes from being admired, but the confidence that comes from knowing who you are. Public approval is unpredictable. People misunderstand you, underestimate you, or praise you for the wrong reasons. A spicy Lady Sigma understands this. She does not build her identity on shifting opinions. Her confidence comes from self-awareness, growth, and inner alignment. Privacy protects that foundation. The less she depends on being seen, the less control the world has over how she sees herself. That is a level of freedom very few people ever achieve. Number 9, she notices how public lives become public property. Point one thing a spicy Lady Sigma quickly notices is how easily a personal life stops feeling personal once it becomes too visible. The more someone shares, the more people feel involved. Even when they were never invited. At first, attention feels harmless. People ask questions, give opinions, follow updates. But over time, the boundary between shared and private blurs. People begin to speak as if they have a role in decisions that are not theirs to make. She sees this clearly. A person shares their relationship and strangers judge it. Someone talks about career plans and people question every choice. Even personal choices attract commentary from people who only know fragments. A spicy Lady Sigma understands that accessibility often creates a quiet sense of entitlement. The more they are exposed to your life, the more they feel included. The more they believe their opinions matter. This is where she draws a line. She does not confuse sharing with surrendering control. Just because something is visible does not mean it is open for public direction. Just because people are watching does not mean they are part of your decisions. If she changes career paths, she does not want her choice slowed by outside opinions. That if she chooses a personal direction, she does not want to negotiate her identity with strangers. She has seen how curiosity turns into assumption, and assumption turns into judgment. That is why she protects her space, not because she fears people, but because she understands boundaries. She knows that once too many voices enter your personal world, it becomes harder to hear your own. A spicy Lady Sigma values privacy because it keeps ownership of her life where it belongs. With her, not with strangers who only see pieces of the story, but still feel entitled to the whole picture. Not everything meant for growth is meant for display. The heart of it. The reason spicy Lady Sigma prefers privacy is not because she wants to disappear from the world. It is because she wants to stay fully connected to herself while moving through it. Privacy is not a rejection of people. It is a careful choice about how much access others get to the most personal parts of her life. A pattern becomes clear. She protects her privacy because she understands how quickly information changes people, how easily stories get rewritten, and how often good intentions turn into unwanted opinions. She has learned that too. Many voices in a personal journey can make it harder to hear her own. She also understands something deeper. Growth is not always meant for public viewing. Some of the most important changes happen quietly, without attention, without applause, without explanation. A life does not need to be constantly broadcast to be meaningful or successful. In everyday life, this shows up simply. She may not share every plan, not because she lacks excitement, but because she values focus. She may keep struggles private, not because she pretends everything is fine, but because healing is personal. She may move in silence, not to confuse people, but to stay aligned with her own direction. What makes this mindset powerful is balance. She is not closed off from the world, but she is not controlled by it either. She connects where it matters and steps back where peace is needed. In the end, her privacy is not about distance. It is about clarity. It is about living a life that belongs to her first, before it belongs to anyone else's opinions. And that is where real strength quietly begins. Thank you for watching and God bless you.